Welcome to Girl Not Float News Bites. I can't believe we're pretty much almost through March already. Like, this year is already flying by. But anyways, I'm Evie Draws, owner and creative director of Evielutions Design. And so today I'm going to talk about the importance of testimonials. So let me start off by asking you a question. If you are making a buying decision, especially an expensive one, would you rather the company tell you how great it is or the person who actually bought the product or service? I mean, most people want to hear from real people. After all, companies spend a lot of time and money trying to convince you to buy their products or services. So, happy customers or clients, however, likely aren't getting anything out of the deal other than the gratification of supporting a business that they love. That's why people trust testimonials, and it's why you should include them on your website. They build your credibility, they speak to the value of your products and services, and convince people who are on the fence to choose you over their competition. So, testimonials are marketing and sales gold without costing you a dime. So the question is, what are some of the best practices for using testimonials on your website? So what I'm going to do right now is give you guys some tips on that. So tip number one, don't bribe people to give you testimonials. You've probably been online, scanned through reviews, and found the statements like, I gave this review in exchange for a free product. And in my opinion, those testimonials don't quite carry as much weight as the ones given free of charge. So ideally, customers should be willing to offer wonderful feedback about your product or service without something in exchange. Tip number two, make it easy for customers to give you a review. Satisfied customers are usually happy to share their opinions. Still, make it easy for them to write those testimonials. And so we recommend providing a link to your Google My Business review page. And if you don't have a Google My Business account, shame on you. I'm going to, link to an article below on why it's important to have a Google My Business account. But getting back to the tip, you can basically find your link by logging into your Google My Business account. You'll click on your location, and then in the menu to the left, click Home, and then you'll find the Get More Reviews section and click Share Review Form. And then there is where you'll find your link and you'll copy it. Now you can use this on your website or within an email to request reviews from customers. If you don't have a Google My Business account, you can still make it easier for users to submit testimonials until you get one. So until then, you can create a survey or a simple form and send it to customers within a month or so after they have had a chance to use your product or service. You'll want to include 2 or 3 open-ended questions that encourage them to share feedback. You don't want them to just respond with yes or no, or a 1 through 10 rating. So for example, you want to ask them questions like, how would you describe your experience with us? What was your favorite thing about our product or service? Why would you recommend us to your family or friends? Another good question is, how did our product or service improve your situation? What was your situation before using a product or service and then after? Those are all great ways to collect some testimonials. Okay, so tip number 3, you want to use real names and titles. And this applies to those who aren't using a Google My Business account to collect reviews. If your customers are willing to attach their name, company, or title to the testimonial, it speaks volumes about the legitimacy and credibility of the testimonial. And even better, if you can include a headshot of the person, is just going to be icing on the cake. Testimonials from anonymous sources or that only include the first name of the speaker can often come across as made up, fake. So just be sure to ask the testimonial giver if you can include his or her information. So, tip number 4, stick with powerful statements. Again, this one applies to those without a Google My Business account. Specific statements about their experience with you or their products are more impactful than generic statements. So, for example, Evolution Design was able to turn around change requests in less than 24 hours, so we could keep the website launch date intact. Something like that is much more powerful than Evolution's design was great. Okay, you get the point. So, tip number 5, use the customer's language. Again, this is for those who don't have a Google My Business account. You may want to clean up typos and grammatical mistakes, but for the most part, include the testimonial verbatim. They will come across as more authentic, and you can leave them in the voice of your customer. Unfortunately, if you are using Google My Business to collect your review, you won't have the ability to do this. Basically, what they post is what you get, but you can surely give your clients some tips on how to post the review. Last but not least, tip number 6, you want to keep adding fresh testimonials. You want to designate a spot on your website, perhaps scrolling across the bottom of your homepage. Have a spot for like 5 testimonials at any one time, and swap out the weaker ones or dated ones as stronger, more relevant ones come in. There are even WordPress plugins available that will allow you to embed your reviews directly from, like, if you are using Google My Business, you can embed those directly into the page on your website. So I talked a lot about why it's important to collect testimonials and add them to your website. But I also mentioned Google My Business account several times. And so you can see the urgency and importance of having a Google My Business account. And like I said, I'm going to link in the description a little bit more information on an article that was previously written about that. Google, changes its analytics all the time. And one of the things that helps you rank a lot higher is not only having a Google My Business account, but getting those reviews posted through your actual Google My Business account. So again, I'm a big advocate for it. It's only going to help you in the long run. So make sure you're doing both. Okay. So I will see you guys next week. Be sure to tune in. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. All right. Check you out.